Hi, I'm Vonne Patiag, the writer-director of Zombie Birds, and this is the director's commentary. So Zombie Birds is actually one of my first short films I ever made. I think this is probably one of my first professional shorts, if you will. At least it was one of the first shorts that made it up to onto IMDb. I made this short as part of a class called Creative Techniques for Shorts, which was in my second year of UTS, which was my film school. Shot this back in 2008, which was when I did the class, and then I think I finished this outside of uni maybe around 2011, 2012. So this film has definitely been on a big journey. I think I'm really interested in revisiting my past work because I've had the privilege of working with a lot of filmmakers recently over the last few months on their own short films. And it's been really fun to dive into the editing process with them and just I've kind of back in love with the short film format, and it just really reminded me of all the fun I had when I made my short films. So I really wanted to revisit these as well. Secondly, I think I'm kind of getting a bit tired of talking about films that don't exist yet, which has been me for the past few months. I'm always talking about these features that I'm yet to make as well. Even though it's very exciting, I kind of really just wanted to get a chance to talk about some of my actual film work. So this is giving me the nostalgic kick that I'm really after. Also, with someone with a career that spans 10 years plus at this point, I've been really looking at my old films and really thinking I should start archiving them properly. There's nothing worse than a hard drive that fails, and I think with some of my older films, I'm kind of worried that they'll be lost to the ether. So I'm trying to upload these to as many places as possible. They're on YouTube, they're on Vimeo, and now they're going to live on social media as well, just so I can access them in the future. But enough preamble. I haven't seen this film in so long, and I'm so excited to watch it and share my commentary. This is Zombie Birds. It's beginning. Yeah, this title sequence. I think this title sequence is something I added way advanced in post, probably a few years after. It took forever to figure out how to do this. I really wanted a Looney Tunes vibe to start the film, and these birds that are flapping, they're a 3D model. The big bird in the middle is the big bad of the whole thing, who you'll see shortly as well. Oh, July 22nd, that's my dad's birthday. Oh, that's James. Oh, okay, I gotta pause here. So, if you have noticed my little friend here, this is Angus. Is that your name? I actually, in order to like set the scene for actually creating zombie birds, I actually bought as many bird toys as I could because one of the things with creative techniques was to kind of trying to use different movie making techniques that weren't just like making a film. I really wanted to incorporate stop motion and green screen. I had to buy all these bird toys. And randomly, if you ever come to my house, this bird toy, Angus, is kind of just sitting there in the back behind the TV. It's weird to me to think that like he is full of air from 2008, actually, but yeah, I bought him for the shoot. I remember buying him from Rouse Hill from like the National Geographic store. He's literally meant to be a life-size king penguin or whatever he is. And yeah, there he is, right there in frame. Look at your little shining moment, Angus. Anyway, we'll continue. Oh, see, so this is me being so cute of like, I wanted to make a silent film as well, obviously, because there's no dialogue, and I wanted to make the phone shake. I figured the best way to do that was to actually shake the screen to show that there was sound being made. Fun thing about all my early short films, actually all my short films in general, is that they are always super personal to me. I think every film that I've ever made is really an extension or a culmination of my whole life, and this truly is my childhood bedroom that we're shooting in. I think it's so weird that, you know, as a uni student, you kind of get into these situations where you're inviting actors into your private space, and yeah, you're making films. That My Chemical Romance poster in the background, I still have. That literally still hangs up above my bed as well. I thought I was a genius for figuring this out, this split screen thing, especially because there's no dialogue, obviously. So I thought this was a really fun way to get a conversation across. Yeah, back on that title sequence as well. I really love a title sequence. I love preempting exactly what the what the film's going to be about. Oh, okay, we cut to color. I gotta say that one of the biggest influences for this whole film, I think in 2008 in general, was Grindhouse, the double feature that Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino made together. Yeah, I actually absolutely love films that sort of draw attention to the filmmaking itself, like The Hands of Man are really shown. I really wanted to make a film that showed the filmmaking process as it went. So that blue streak there is kind of the film tape that's attached, and here we are, we're off to a nice picnic. I want to pause here and say that the effects on the actual screen are actually all real, all done in camera. We had to shoot on 16mm. So this whole film has actually been shot on an a Bolex Ariflex? A Bolex? A Bolex? Oh my god, it's been so long since I had to operate one of those. But yeah, I have a really fun story actually. So this is all shot on film, and then there's a bit of digital stuff at the end on purpose as well. This whole film is a bit of a mashup of everything, but all these techniques you're seeing here are yeah, it's literally fogging up the film intentionally as well. So here we are in Wiseman's Ferry. We actually shot here after I saw this location, after I attended, I want to say, a drag race through the mountains. And I was in the car. I was a passenger princess, actually, during a race. And I saw this location and was like, this would be great for that bird movie that I want to do. This actress's name is Jess, and I'm not really sure what she's up to now. James, actually, I met through this film, and we became really good friends, actually. We don't live in the same city anymore, but we do see each other quite regularly when we can. But yeah, it's always nice to think that this film brought us together. I'm going to pause it here because this is when the genre stuff really starts up and goes a bit manic. But I want to talk quickly about the 16mm, because I remember a really funny story about how I sourced so much film. But yeah, with this class in particular, we would get 300 feet of film in order to make a 2-minute film. So usually 100 feet is about 1 minute of footage. And obviously I have a 9-10 minute film here. And what I actually did was I kind of corralled 2 other students to ask for their allocation of film. And they were shooting on digital, so they just pretended that they were shooting on the Bolex. And I actually was able to get all this film for free as well. I did have to pay to get the film processed at Cutting Edge, which is the craziest thing, to think that this film was kind of created. Oh, I paused it there. This film was created in the same places that like the biggest films that were in post in Australia were as well. These rats are from a green screen session, and I wanted it to look intentionally really, really bad. I mean, truth be told, like, there's the Grindhouse aesthetic, but I also wanted to mash up the 1920s with the 1970s in terms of filmmaking tactics. So I thought, how would someone in the 1920s create a creature feature? That's Zombie Birds. Yeah, I mean, the fact that this character, I think he's named Mev. Their names were Mev and Meg. I remember Meg was named after like a Skins character, or an actress in Skins. That is chocolate sauce. And yeah, again, this is all green screen birds that have obviously been overlaid. You can actually see, if you look closely in the top right corner of the screen, there is a production assistant with a seagull draped off a fishing line, trying to make it look like there's birds flying around. And obviously I was trying to make everything practical, and when we looked at the footage, it just did not slap at all. So I added all these digital birds after. Yeah, what I was going to say is you can probably think a lot into why this male character doesn't like a female character. I don't know if it's queer-coded. I don't want to say that, but hey, in 2010, I was clearly figuring some stuff out. So that chase sequence in particular, we practiced a lot. And this shot is one of the shots I'm very proud of, actually, because I thought the actual VFX made it look quite good. I thought it was quite good for what I achieved. I mean, I did all the VFX for this I basically did all the post-production for this film. So, as you do. This was a, okay, see the seagull in the background. This was crazy because we had fishing wire attached to those birds. That slap off. Okay, I gotta tell you here, I'm just gonna pause it here. If you notice in this next scene, firstly you can see another one of my friends tossing a bird for her to smack. Whenever she hits a bird, it flashes white on screen. That is a technique that I literally borrowed from Hawkgirl in Justice League, the animated series. Whenever she strikes her mace, the energized electric mace, the screen would flash white. And she was my favorite character. Obviously, she's using a mace. It's a toy mace, but yeah. And obviously, Hawkgirl is a bird too. I just wanted to honor, as all my films will do, they're a mishmash of all my interests at one time. So Grindhouse, Justice League, My Chemical Romance, it's all kind of punk, which I love. There you go. Flash, flash. So many people have remarked that this shot really creeps them out, which is when the gun kind of appears out of nowhere behind her head. But it's just that weird angle that she had. Here it is. Oh no, so the mace appears just out of nowhere. But yeah, you saw the fishing wire hit the birds off. And then there's a general monster. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here. This was the basis of the whole pitch, I think. I think when I first came up with this idea, I really wanted to make a story that was about birds disappearing. Mostly because I a bit of like Vonne lore. If you know me really well, you know this. But I actually have been, when I was younger, I got viciously attacked by a magpie, like viciously. So I kind of have a fear of magpies as well. And I feel like I just made this film to honor that, but then it was a bit of a fantasy where I was like, what if the birds all left and the world was better because of it. And my friend Nikita at the time, who worked with me at one of the cinemas that I worked at, she suggested, I just remember her saying, and they should be zombies, they should come back as zombies, hence why you'll notice that she gets a credit at the end for the zombie idea. But this was the 1970s part of the fun, which I wanted to make a creature feature. I actually tried to get a bird costume that was a bit more lifelike, and I got this costume from a place in Blacktown that I truly don't even know what sort of bird costume this is. I'm pretty sure this bird costume has been rented out to like students to go to like book fairs in schools, and I saw this costume and fell in love with it, and I decided I needed to wear it. So this is actually probably my first time on camera, I think, in one of my own short films. Yeah, and it's like a zombie bird, so he has a zombie skeleton face. This is me dodging. This is battle mode, which I thought was really funny. And yeah, the film here is really, really fucked up. Intentionally so. I will always remember my friend Joe, who was with me when we were shooting here at Wiseman's Ferry. He had to change the film in the Bolex, and we didn't have a tent. So the best we could do was he tried to black out a barbecue pit, and he went inside the barbecue and changed the film there. And clearly there were some light leaks, because when we processed this footage, we got one canister back that was pretty fogged up like crazy, but I decided to use it anyway because it kind of is pretty punk 1970s, like how the film masters made films. That's me running after her. Thank God that costume was so, like, it smelled so bad. This is just me and James, like, becoming best friends, like, truly. all these like toy guns, I think, were from my brother, I think. Look at that shot. I love that shot so much. This I'm so proud of. That was just genius to me, doing the bigger letters. This shot, okay, so this shot here, I want to tell you. So this is actually the beginning of the digital sequence, where I wanted to actually incorporate some digital artifacts as well to make it look really stark. This was kind of like the film moving into the modern era as well. So I actually went and did a pickup day where I shot plates at Norajinji, out near my house at the time, Norajinji Reserve, and I shot all these plates. And then you'll see later on we did a big green screen session, but this is basically me in the monster outfit diving onto the floor. It hurt like crazy. I busted a knee doing this stuff like 10 times. That dive, because here, that's also that's me on the floor like doing like Superman crunches, and I was not fit at the time. That it really hurt to do, but it's for art. So what are you gonna do? Oh, and I want to call out just a little shout out to Turtle, the RAV4. It's actually one of my family's first cars. That was my brother's beloved car. I inherited that car too. Turtle, wherever you are, thinking of you. I mean, you were such a good car. Everyone loved the RAV4. So yeah, truly, I mean, this ending is gonna give queer coded vibes. I see it now. You know, I see it now. But I thought this was so cool at the end, and then to honor the aesthetic of having no dialogue, it ends with a bang, which was so punk. Is it the end? It was the end. So yeah, I think what I wanted to say before is that I shot this film in 2008, and then because I actually finished another version of this film, which was completely black and white, and I actually met a composer named Richard Savory, who is an incredible composer, and I actually ended up working with him on a bunch of films. We actually did my next film, Dead Man's Face, prior to working on Zombie Birds. But when we finished on that film, I actually pitched him. I showed him the cut for this film, and I said, I think I really want to score for this, and he jumped on it, and I think his score brought out the best in the time clash of the 1920s meets the 1970s. I think it just adds such a like classy punk element. Richard completely changed this film. I'm always so appreciative to him for jumping on this, and because we had a title sequence, obviously I needed a outro credit sequence too. That's the green screen session, and here's a lot of the footage you'll see in color as well. It's so fun. I love making films. It's just so fun making all of these films. Okay, this is me like getting so scared to actually do the dive, because you can see the safety mat, and I remember working with someone was on the camera, and they kept saying like, it just looks like you're not diving. Like you really have to dive. Like you have to be horizontal when you jump forward. That's really hard to do. I'm telling you now. Like I will never forget this. Also, can you guess who did all the VFX? It was me. It's crazy. I wouldn't be able to tell you how to do green screen stuff like now, even with all like the new tools. Like I don't even know how I figured out how to make this roughly good. Oh, Dimitri. Okay, Dimitri actually, I remember did shoot the sequence at my house. Hey Dimitri. There's Richard, see? It's just such a fun film, and I thought this song in particular, Astro Zombies by My Chemical Romance, was just the best way to finish the film as well. It's one of my favorite tracks they've ever done. It's obviously a cover of The Misfits, but I just had so much fun with that track, and it was, I was so gracious that I was able to grab it for this film. Wiseman's Ferry, where we shot. That's me dancing. I think the funny part about any film is that you end up with all these props. So everything, me watching this film again, like all these props, all these costumes that I have, like I still have them somewhere in the house. Like literally, hello, Angus is like still here. And he was in the film for like 5 seconds. And wow, this is such a blast from the past. This is mind blowing to me. How far I've come. BTS. That's me. See me doing the jump? Oh my god, I have to rewind to that. Look at this. Look how brave I am. Hurt. Hurt. Chink. Done. That was really nice. That was really nice to revisit old films. Also, this font is called Cracked. I know it's like hilarious. Um, just one of those fonts that everyone makes fun of, but I just thought was perfect for the film. And yeah, Zombie Birds. I don't know. I don't want to say it put me on the map, but it did get me noticed at UCID. I think it ended up winning one of the UCID short film competitions, and that was before I had the soundtrack sorted. So Zombie Birds, I truly actually finished the soundtrack just for the love of it. Me being 15 years later, I still see so much of myself in this film. Even doing the title sequences. I'm so obsessed with title sequences right now. I really want to do title sequences in all my films. I love film. Okay, this was really fun. I hope you got something out of it. I don't know. I hope these insights kind of help you, because I think film is always, I think the best films are a culmination of the filmmaker and are revelatory of that director. And I hope hearing all my points of inspiration, like all the people who are involved in making a film, I'm so thankful for anyone who works with me. And this has been a really nice journey. And I hope to do more. I hope you got something out of this. I really want to check out some of my older films when they do drop. I plan to release more films on social media. And yeah, so for now, I also think enjoy spooky season. It's a really fun time. And yeah, if you haven't seen Zombie Birds yet, give it a watch now. Okay. Thank you.